Hey guys, I am live today, Saturday. I know it's a little bit later than when I would normally go live. It's about 3:30. I like to go live sometime between 3:10 and 3:15 at least. But hey, it is what it is. I'm here, so let's get started. Let's start out, obviously, with Monday Night Raw. Started out with CM Punk there. CM Punk was obviously not happy. In fact, he was downright pissed off at what happened at Clash at the Castle. No Clash in Paris. CM Punk was involved in a fatal four-way match on that pay-per-view for the world title in the main event. Obviously, someone right as Seth Rollins, right as CM Punk was about to win the match, somebody came from behind, low blowed Punk, which allowed Seth Rollins to get the win, which allowed Seth Rollins to help Rollins retain. It was, in fact, Becky Lynch, CM Punk's own wife, and so that's how the Clash in Paris ended. This obviously was the continuation of that. But the opening segment was Jey Uso. He wasn't exactly too happy about not winning at Clash in Paris in that fatal four-way match, which he was also a part of. And also, he wasn't happy about what happened with his cousin, Roman Reigns. Or earlier on in the show, in fact, in the opening match, had a match against Bronson Reed, which he won, but in the end, it didn't matter because Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed were able to get some much needed payback on Roman Reigns to close out that match and that segment. And so that's how that ended. And so, and that obviously is now bled into this Monday Night Raw. Then LA Knight comes out, starts jaw jacking with Jey Uso, saying that, we could have easily. Thank goodness no longer, your fake accounts are all but hidden now. I took away every single mod that I had that I thought may or may not be suspicious is now gone. So I'm basically now the only mods on my channel are the people that I actually trust. And that's good. Well, that's not happening. Mr. Oh, that's not happening. So just shut up, Mox. Shut up, Mox, and just shut up. So yeah, that's how that happened. LA Knight basically decided to accuse Jey Uso of sabotaging the match because on a number of occasions, him, Punk, and Uso were all triple teaming Seth Rollins, but then at times it just seemed like Jey Uso was like more or less involved with, more or less concerned with winning the match than taking Seth Rollins out of the match. Well, that's the nature of a fatal four-way match. You're supposed to it's supposed to be every man for themselves. I'm just looking at my notes while I'm at it. I'm looking at my notes. This then led to Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to interrupt. They interrupted this. They interrupted and they challenged Jey Uso and LA Knight to a match in the main event. To a match. Which obviously they accepted, and obviously that was the main event of the show. Not AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. I don't think so. Yeah, that's yeah. After this, we got Io Sky backstage with the Kabuki Warriors. Now, obviously, there have been growing tensions as of late between Io Sky and Asuka. I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here. She's clearly turning heel. I'm talking about Asuka. And who knows? It could be good for her. Could be good for her. We don't know. But she wanted to apologize to Warriors, and the Kabuki Warriors said, "Hey, we're gonna take care of Raquel and Roxanne tonight." And that's exactly what we got next. Kabuki Warriors versus Judgment Days. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez lasted about 12 minutes. Nothing serious, but it was a good match. Oh, wow. Hey, Nostalgic Pod Blast is here. And you're a mod on my channel, so thanks. No, I am not looking at my own awful self, badass Vince. Like I said, I am looking at my notes because I need to write this stuff down so that way I can remember everything that happened. Because call me crazy, for some reason, I have this thing now where it's hard for me to remember stuff. If I don't write it down, I'm not going to remember it, even though I tell myself that, okay, I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember this, whether it's a password for a Google account or whatever. But if I don't write something down, it's like I'm going to just forget about it. And it's, thanks. Well, hey, thanks, Chance, for hitting that like button. Get out of here, Mox. You're not welcome here. And I got rid of your fake accounts mod, so you're not so now hopefully you won't be able to come back on here. Well, hey, thanks for the like, Chance, and yeah. Let's see, Kabuki War 12 minutes, went about 12 minutes. Kabuki Warriors won. Asuka was able to get, the ending of the match was a little bit fuzzy. Asuka, I think, did like a hip attack or something. Whatever she did wasn't really in position to get the pin, but then decided, you know what, I'm just going to go for a submission move. That worked just as easily. Obviously, Roxanne tapped out, and that's how the match ended. Congratulations to the Kabuki Warriors. This obviously would not be the last time we would see them tonight, as we would see them later in another backstage segment, but more on that a little bit later. We got the New Day. Apparently, the New Day have decided to throw a funeral for the Raw Tag Team titles. I don't know what it is about the New Day, but they are incredibly funny right now. Hey, thanks. You know what? I'm gonna give you another standard mod, just because that's just because I know who you are, and I think I trust you better than some of the other guys on my channel that I've had on my channel as a channel. Thanks for showing up And hey, Austin, I'm glad you're here. If there's anybody here who has not hit that like button, feel free to do so. It's not required, but I do appreciate it. And also, if there's any way that any of you can share this live stream out on your channels, then feel free to do that as well. Again, not required, but you know what? I would love to get some new viewers into this live stream. Currently, actually, what in the world? Okay, you're supposed to be gone, Brian Schaefer. I wonder why you're coming back. So I am going to get to the bottom of this. Yeah. After we got a New Day funeral for the Raw tag team titles. Basically, the New Day were just, obviously they are upset because they lost the Raw tag team titles to the Judgment Day. And since then, they have been doing nothing but complaining nonstop about how the Raw tag team division is now dead simply because they're not the champions. It's because they're no longer the champions. That's obviously not true, but I mean it's typical heel stuff from the New Day. All they seem to ever want to do right now is complain. Right now they're complaining more than ever about Penta using his Mexican destroyer because apparently Xavier Woods got a potentially injured neck because of that. But something's telling me that was just a storyline related, and it wasn't an actual injury. It was just to get more heat on the New Day. Okay, what are you're supposed to be hidden? I don't know what's going on here. I got rid of Z's mod, the fake Z's mod, so you should be out of here. Then again, I guess it looks like you're just creating more and more fake accounts and just coming in. Well, hey, come in with as many fake accounts as you want, Mox. I'm just gonna keep timing them all out and hiding all of them. And you won't be able to bring them back because I took away the one mod you actually had via that fake Z account. So good luck trying to good luck. After this New Day funeral segment, we got LA Knight backstage. He is obviously getting himself ready for the main event tag team match with him and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I think it's pretty safe to say they don't necessarily like each other right now. They don't exactly like each other right now. And that's perfectly okay because but yeah, it is what it is. We also got Judgment Day, a backstage segment with the Judgment Day. They are getting ready for Dominic Mysterio's match against AJ Styles for the tag team titles. No, for the Intercontinental Championship. Adam Pearce decided to pop in. Hopping in out of nowhere, saying that the rest of Judgment Day will be banned from ringside. So I assumed with that it was going to be either one of two things. Either one, AJ wins clean, or we still get some sort of interference, and it's going to be from El Grande Americano. That's exactly what happened, but hey, we got another match. Obviously, we got another match. New Day and Grayson Waller versus the War Raiders and Penta El Zero Miedo. The Faces won this match. It lasted about 11 minutes. Nothing special, but it is what it is. Yeah. We also got Lyra Valkyria in a backstage segment. She is still somewhat concerned for Bayley, who has had a number of vignettes recently, and every single one of them has her in basically two voices talking in her head. So she's starting to take lessons from Randy Orton, because you all know Randy Orton's theme song begins with "I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They understand. They talk to me." And so that's exactly what's happening. She's hearing voices in her head, and now it's two voices: Hugger Bayley and then heel Pandemic Bayley. And it's interesting, whatever it is, and I'm pretty much sure that it's going to lead to Bayley turning heel again. I don't know if that's the case, but I could totally see that being the case. But hey, it is what it is. Obviously, then the Judgment Day decided to interrupt. This was Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, who weren't exactly in a good mood following their tag team match against Kabuki Warriors. Then Lyra decides to ask Pearce to give her any one member of the Judgment Day, be it Lyra or Raquel, and so she will have a match this upcoming Monday. I can't remember if it's Raquel or Roxanne. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, that's how that is. We got AJ Styles versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. This match lasted about 14 minutes. Very good match. Around 15 minutes. Very good match. Very good match. And yes, Dominic was able to retain via interference from El Grande Americano. And I'm just going to say it right now, there has been a lot of people that have been pissing on this booking decision by WWE, apparently. I don't know who. I don't know why people are are acting this way because I think it's pretty clear who it is. I think it's pretty clear why they did this. Because a lot of people want to say that, oh, AJ Styles should have won. AJ Styles should have won this and that, and what the hell was Triple H thinking having AJ lose this match? Well, I'm starting to think that this is all part of a bigger picture that didn't involve AJ Styles to begin with. That was never going to involve AJ Styles to begin with the Intercontinental Championship. I think what they're doing is they're leading to the inevitable split between Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor from the Judgment Day. Because apparently, as of today, I heard that there are going to be a number of people that were either sidelined with injuries, real injuries, or were written off due to storyline attacks coming back soon. Liv Morgan could be one of those people that's coming back. And if she does, then I think it's going to be inevitable that Finn Balor and I'm just doing what you would do, Mox. I'm just doing what you would do, Mox. You can't cash in on someone who won't show up, who doesn't show up. You can't cash in on someone if they're not there. Hey. But yeah, I think it's leading to Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor is the guy to take the title off of Dominic Mysterio. Okay, that's just what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's going to be Dominic Mysterio losing the Intercontinental Championship to Finn Balor, and I think that's the match. And I think that's what they do. Okay, I know a lot of people wanted AJ Styles to win the match and to win the title. I would have liked it, but I just feel like that's where they're leading to. It's not AJ Styles. It's not AJ Styles winning the title. It's going to be Finn Balor winning the title. But that's just what I think. We got Asuka. We got another Asuka backstage segments this time with Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley has been getting involved in a lot of Io's business of late, and Asuka obviously is not happy about that because she claims to be best friends with Io Sky, but recently she's been acting more like a possessive kind of person Like I am Io's best friend. I'm Io's friend, not you. So she my friend. Like, Asuka, please. Io is allowed to have more than one friend. Well, not according to Asuka. Not according to Asuka. This is, I think, also leading to an inevitable heel turn from Asuka, which might happen at WrestlePalooza when Io challenges Stephanie Vaquer for the women's world title. They could have the same thing happen that already happened when she had that match against Roxanne Perez, where Asuka and Kairi Sane attempted to interfere on Asuka's behalf, on Io's behalf, but it backfired, and Roxanne was able to win the match. That's probably what they're going to do. Attempted interference on Io's behalf, which backfires, and then that's how we get. And then Stephanie Vaquer wins the title. That's just what I'm thinking. It might not go down that route, but it would be how I would do it if they want to make it so there's no. Because it's obvious that this is probably leading to a heel turn from Asuka anyways. So why not just do that? Just add more fuel to the fire. Also, we got Finn Balor versus Dragon Lee. This match stole the show. It was one of the best matches of the night, which is honestly not surprising to me because both of these guys are great. Finn Balor won the match. I did not see Finn Balor losing this match, and he didn't. Good for him. Went about 11 minutes. Good for him. We also got a CM Punk segment. Obviously, CM Punk was waiting throughout the entire show for Seth Rollins to make his appearance. Apparently, he did make his appearance, but how he got past CM Punk, I don't know how he got into the building, but he got into the building. And yeah, this segment happened with Becky Lynch. And she actually owned CM Punk in this segment. She would even go on to slap CM Punk a few times before Punk would tell Becky Lynch that you're gonna regret putting your hands on me. And obviously, we would find out what that meant. We found out what that meant last night on SmackDown. So it is what it is. Then we got obviously the main event: Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso and LA Knight. Went about 14 minutes. Very good match. Not the best match of the night, but still very good. And the match ended clean. For the first time in what seems like forever, a main event match on SmackDown ends clean. And it also just happens to involve members of the Vision. But then again, Seth Rollins had already left. Paul Heyman wasn't there to provide guidance, wisdom, or oracle for Braun and Bronson, but they won the match clean. So that's nice that we got a match in the main event of Monday Night Raw that actually ended clean for the first time. So good for them. Good for them. And that's how Monday Night Raw ended. If I was to rate Monday Night Raw, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. 10, there were some things that maybe I would have done differently, but all in all, a very good show. We then go to Tuesday and NXT. NXT, it started out, the first match segment of the night was Lash Legend versus Jada Parker. This was basically built off of the last few weeks of just both of them just sort of throwing shade at each other for their recent losses. Lash obviously having lost to Nia Jax a few weeks ago. Jada losing that triple threat match at NXT Heatwave with a number one contendership for the NXT Women's title on the line. So they were both throwing their recent losses in each other's faces, basically just being all catty and stuff. And so that's how this match ended up happening. Lash Legend was actually able to get the win. This match lasted 13 minutes. I was surprised this match lasted as long as it did, but it was a pretty good match for having lasted about 13 minutes. Lash got the win, but Jada Parker got the last laugh post-match. She wasn't happy, so she attacked Lash post-match. Then decided to do her hypnotic hip check to Lash Legend. The only problem was that Lash Legend was positioned where the barrier was, and so she basically hip checked Lash so hard that the barrier broke. Like, damn girl, you break the barrier a second time. The first time was with Nia Jax. But hey, they are literally breaking barriers. Literally. 5 likes. Can we get it up to potentially 10 by the time this live stream ends? Who knows? I've got a few people who haven't shown up yet that I'm hoping will, as far as like friends are concerned. But it is what it is. I'm glad for the people who are here and who have made it. After this, though, we go backstage. Jordan Gray, we got Blake Monroe in a room full of other AEW, WWE, NXT women superstars. We got, she's talking with Ariana Grace. Then eventually Jordan Grace comes in and all hell starts to break loose, but no violence is had. Then one of the women that's in the room, Callie Armstrong, decided to throw some shade at Jordan Grace for what had happened a few weeks ago heading into NXT Heatwave when Jordan Grace had interrupted her debut NXT match against Carmen Petrovich. That was in the build-up to NXT Heatwave. So she challenged Jordan Grace to a match tonight. And we got it. We then get Hank and Tank backstage with Oba Femi and Ricky Saints. They are all getting ready for the main event tag team match against Dark State. This is probably about the 4th or 5th 8-man tag team match we've gotten with Dark State. And Oba Femi has been in every single one of them because they seem to not want to take their eyes off Oba Femi. I guess eventually we might be getting a member of Dark State versus Oba Femi for the NXT title with the way they keep targeting Oba Femi. But it is what it is. We also got a promo segment from Javon Evans, who apparently had not been seen since NXT Heatwave, and he basically came out there, obviously said a few things. He was just mad at himself and felt like he had let NXT down by not winning the title. He said he called his baby sister to tell her that he was going to be coming home with the NXT title. That didn't happen. Then we got someone apparently on a motorcycle start, I guess, making their way to the Performance Center. And then we got The Undertaker's music hit. And I was like, wait a minute, is this The Undertaker? Because we know he's the one who gave Javon Evans the advice to eventually he went after the biggest dog in the yard, which was Oba Femi. But it was a swerve, and it was only Josh Briggs, who then decided to beat down on Javon Evans, which then will... And obviously, later on in the show, we got Ava basically confirming that Javon Evans will get his hands on Josh Briggs next week. Then, after this, we got a little video package for 2 women that were going to be competing tonight in a speed match. Zaya Brookside and Candice LeRae. Obviously on the, I think it was the NXT Heatwave show, we got Ava, the general manager, announcing that the speed titles would be defended, would be coming down to NXT. The men's and women's titles. So there's just 2 more titles for the NXT roster to defend against. So we're getting a tournament to determine who the number 1 contender will be for the title going into NXT No Mercy. And Obviously, Soruka is the champion. And so she will face off against the winner of this tournament. This first match was Xia Brookside of TNA versus Candice LeRae of SmackDown, who, interestingly enough, was the very first Women's Speed Champion, and the person who beat her for the title was none other than the current champion herself, Soruka. They may be looking to go in that direction. Who knows? We got Ava backstage with Fatal Influence, Saruka, and Izzy Dane and Tatum Paxley. Now, apparently, Ava had a announcement when it came to those three teams. There will be a triple threat elimination match next week, with the winner getting a future women's tag team title shot, which will obviously be against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, who are the champions at the moment. But they are also currently having their problems with Chelsea Green and the Secret Service, so who knows what's going to happen with them eventually, but it is what it is. Then we also get another video package or so from Dark State. Dark State vignette, video package, whatever you want to call it. They're just talking up their main event match against Ova, Ricky, and Hank and Tank. Just simple stuff, but effective. Then we get Jordynne Grace versus Callie Armstrong. Decent match, lasted about 8 minutes. Jordynne Grace won. Congrats to her. But after the match, we got Blake Monroe coming out. Not happy at all. Oh, and then they just started brawling. Eventually, Blake Monroe got hit in the nose or whatever, and she started bleeding, and she was bleeding. And she definitely, and immediately following that, she just looked like she was about to go off on someone. And I fear for Jordynne Grace a little bit. And it is what it. We got Josh Briggs backstage. He was obviously Chase U, Uriah Connors and Kale Dixon of Chase U. They decided to engage in conversation with Josh Briggs, which I immediately thought was a disaster waiting to happen. Then Josh Briggs, then Chase U, then Uriah Connors and Kale Dixon decided to basically they decided to what's the word I'm trying to look for? They were basically decided to have Andre Chase represent Chase U in a match against Josh Briggs. They volunteered Andre Chase for a match against Josh Briggs, which I was like, this match might end in seconds if they have their way. If Josh Briggs has his way, that's obviously not what happened. The match actually lasted pretty good. But yeah. We then get Xia Brookside versus Candice LeRae. This match, it obviously lasted. It was a speed match. All speed matches last only 3 minutes. So I knew how long this match was going to last. 3 minutes tops. And that's what happened. We got Xia Brooks, we got Candice LeRae winning the match easily. Congrats to her. She will move on to the semifinals, I'm guessing. And she will be in a match against either Lainey Reed of NXT or Fami Apache of AAA. That match will take place. That match will take place next week on NXT. Then we get a video package for Lola Vice. Lola Vice, who is the #1 contender for JC Jane's NXT Women's title. She was just talking about her returning home to Miami, which is where she's from. I like this video package. We definitely got to see Lola Vice. We also got Ava and Javon Evans backstage. Obviously, Javon wanted to get his hands on Josh Briggs. And like I said earlier, Ava in this segment told Javon Evans that he could get his hands on Josh Briggs next week, only if he promises not to interfere in Josh Briggs' upcoming match against Andre Chase, which Javon Evans was willing to accept. And so we got the match between Josh Briggs and Andre Chase. Lasted about 6 minutes. It is what it is. I expected Josh Briggs to just demolish Andre Chase in seconds, but this was a competitive match, semi-competitive. And Josh Briggs won. Great. It was a semi-good match. Josh Briggs looked good. So, hey, it is what it is. 7 likes. Thank you. Can we maybe get it to 10? Before the live stream ends? Who knows? Again, we got Ava a lot backstage. As is usually the case with these NXT shows. We usually see her at least 2 or 3 times having to defuse some sort of situation or making some sort of match official or whatnot. Obviously, Tavion Heights and Ethan Page still aren't exactly done with their feud, and they're still jaw-jacking. Obviously, this leads to a flag match being made official for next week. So, for the first time that I can think of since 2017's Shut up, and you don't even know what you're talking about. And I literally do not know who you're talking about, so. So get out of here. Get out of here, Mox. You're not welcome. You're not welcome in my live stream. So for the first time since 2017 Battleground, which I have on DVD. That was also the match. That was also the card that had that atrocious Punjabi prison match with Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal, which saw the return of the Great Khali for only one night. And it didn't even... And it was like, okay, that was pointless. Yeah. So, hey, that should be an interesting match. We got Trick Williams in the ring. He was cutting a promo talking about, obviously, the TNA World Championship. Typical Trick Williams stuff that he was talking about. And apparently DIY decided that they wanted to make an appearance on tonight's NXT show, that night. So they made an appearance, surprise appearance. Obviously, they talked up Trick Williams, talked up all of his accomplishments. But then they decided, to talk themselves up, talk up their accomplishments as well. I don't even know if they were acting as faces or heels in this segment. But it looked like they were acting as faces because they were going up against Trick Williams, who's a heel at the moment. This then led to DIY attacking Trick Williams with a meet in the middle. And who knows what's gonna happen in the near future with these two teams. I don't know what's gonna happen. But hey, let's get on with the rest of the show. Obviously, we got the main event. Obafemi Ricky Saints versus Hank and Tank, and Hank and Tank versus Dark State. This match was chaotic, as it's always been with these Dark State 8-man tag team matches. And near the end of the match, as always, we got the match breaking down with the usual for Obafemi and Ricky Saints at one point decided to just start wailing each other. They decided to attack each other, and they went back and started brawling backstage, and I was like, oh no, the match is. Oh great, the match is ending right here. We got two members of that team, just like of the face team getting too big for their egos and started brawling backstage. And yeah, I thought that was the end of the match. But apparently not, because apparently Hank and Tank were able to win the match regardless, due to some unexpected help from none other than Joe Hendry himself. So, okay, I'm like, okay, that was weird, but hey, it made sense. Because, but hey, great for the faces to finally win a match against the Dark State. Because it just seems like every single time we've gotten one of these 8-man tag team matches with Dark State has won through some means. So whatever. But hey, it is what it is. So congrats to them for winning. If I was to rate NXT this week, I'd give it maybe a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is what it is. Now let's move on to AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite was, it's not a good show. Never seems to be a good show anymore. It's like no matter how good the shows may want the shows to be, it's just never good. We're still in Philadelphia. We're still in Philadelphia in the 2300 arena, which is the ODCW arena. So we're still there. But I don't know what it is. These shows just have not been good recently. Obviously, we got Darby Allin opening the show with Gabe Kidd. And apparently, Darby Allin decided to put Gabe Kidd in a body bag and was dragging and had gotten in a truck and just decided to just drag Gabe Kidd off somewhere. We don't even know. I don't know where. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We got Mercedes Moné versus Alex Windsor for the TBS title. I actually wasn't sure if Alex Windsor was going to win or not, but Mercedes won. Congrats to her, but did she really need to win? After this, we got the return of Riho, who has now apparently decided, you know what? I'm just gonna attack Mercedes Monet and then get a TBS title shot because of it. Okay, so if that's the case, then how come not? How come other AW talent that come back after extended periods away from television don't just get another title? Don't just get a title shot. We got Wardlow back. We got Wardlow back in the Don Callis family somehow. I mean, no one's giving him a title shot on TNT or an Internet Unified Title or AW World Title shot. I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. I really don't know what we're doing here. No, I'm not crying about it. It just is more annoying than anything. Like, what did Riho even do to get a TBS title shot? Nothing. Nothing. She came back, attacked Mercedes Monet, and that's the reason why she got a title shot. She attacked Mercedes Monet. Okay, then doesn't everybody just do it? Do that. If you attack a champion, you get a title shot, regardless of what you did, of what you've done previously. I mean, you could be the worst wrestler. You could have the worst record on the planet. You could have like an 0-5 record in your past 5 matches, attack a champion, and still get a title shot just because. Just because you attacked a champion. Doesn't make sense to me. We got another Tony Storm promo. And obviously, Tony Storm, one of the best things about AW Dynamite. I hope she never leaves AW Dynamite because when she does, that show will get downgraded even more because they will have lost, quite frankly, their best women's wrestler in the entire company. There's nobody that matches up to Timeless Tony Storm. Nobody. Her promo ability, gold. Her character, gold. Everything about Timeless Tony Storm is great. So, hope she never leaves. We got Mark Briscoe versus Lance Archer. Like, do I need to talk about this match? Can't even remember who won, and that probably should tell you all you need to know. We got an Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, and FTR segment again, where they just brawl going into their all-out tag team match. But hey. We also got Brodito versus the Death Riders of Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta for the tag team titles. This was obviously going to end the way I thought it was going to end. Brodito won the match. I didn't think they were going to lose. The match, and they did not. So, congratulations to them. We got Taz. Apparently, Taz is now being... Tonight, Taz was inducted into the 2300 Arenas Hall of Fame, apparently. So, obviously, the 2300 Arena is where ECW was held for many, many years when they were still in business. And obviously, Taz was a member of the ECW roster back then in the 90s. And so, hey, nice, good for him. We then get to have the main event: Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and Jet Speed, which is Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight versus the Don Callis families, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh Alexander and the Young Bucks. 8 likes. Hey, I mean, I'm glad I got 8 likes. Thank you guys for that. We then get, obviously, the heels were actually, the faces were actually able to win the match. Didn't see the heels winning this match, but I guess it was the heels that got the last laugh because Kenny Omega, for whatever reason, he was written off TV, which they obviously could have done in some other way, but they decided, oh, we're just going to be lazy about it, and we're just going to do a typical post-match beatdown, as if we haven't gotten so many of those already in WWE, especially with Roman Reigns, who, might I remind you, has now been written off television twice by the Vision. Was actually written off television twice by the Vision. Once on an episode of Monday Night Raw, which I don't know why they did it, but maybe they just wanted to build some extra heat for the Bronson Reed match, which I don't know why they needed to do that anyways. But we got that. And so, hey, it is what it is. Do I like it? Do I like that they decided to just go that route when they could have done it any other way? Yes, but it is what it is. AEW will continue to do whatever it wants to do, no matter what the fans say. We then go to Friday Night SmackDown, and boy, to say this was one of the best Friday Night SmackDowns of the entire year so far would be an understatement, because that's exactly what it was. One of the best SmackDowns all year. John Cena opened the show. This will be his final Friday Night SmackDown show ever before retiring. So obviously we got his last ever Friday Night SmackDown. Obviously we got Sami Zayn interrupting, which I was a little bit surprised by. And then we got Sami Zayn deciding to pull a John Cena move as United States champion, and decided to sort of kind of a full circle moment, because Sami Zayn's first official match on the main roster was against John Cena in a U.S. title open challenge. That's exactly what Sami Zayn decided to do here. I thought that was actually very smart by WWE, because it wouldn't have made sense for them, because seeing that Sami Zayn is now on SmackDown, they decided to make it special by having a title match on SmackDown with Sami Zayn and John Cena. Obviously, this match ended not because either Sami Zayn. This match ended in a no contest, basically, because Brock Lesnar decided to show up and decided to hit a F5 on John Cena and Sami Zayn. So obviously this match ended in a no contest. So it is what it is. So you know what? I'm okay with it. Obviously, I didn't think John Cena was going to win the U.S. title anyways. So it was a nice way to sort of make sure that John Cena didn't get pinned or Sami Zayn didn't get pinned, and we keep both of them looking strong. And the match was good, so it is what it is. Let's move on. We got Mello Don't Miz is backstage. Carmelo Hayes and The Miz, they are not happy about what the White Six did last week when they basically interfered in their match against the Street Profits, which the Street Profits were able to win, by the way. and they still won and they still won a shot at the tag team titles. Well, at least Miz wants a shot at the tag team titles, but Mello just doesn't seem to care about the tag team titles. But Miz is like trying to convince Mello that they should be going after the tag team titles, and that's the only thing they should be focused on right now. I think Mello wants a shot at the U.S. title, wants to go after the U.S. title, which I think would be great. And if Sami Zayn eventually does drop the title, I think it should be to Carmelo Hayes. Oops. But yeah, we got a vignettes for Aleister Black heading into his match tonight against Damian Priest. Smash. And it was typical stuff from Aleister Black, and I liked it. I think Aleister Black is going to do great coming back to WWE, I hope. But yeah, we then get Aleister Black versus Damian Priest. Lasted about 13 minutes. Very good match. Very good match. And obviously the match ended with a little bit of shenanigans with Damian Priest when Damian Priest was attempting a South of Heaven choke slam. Aleister Black had grabbed the referee's shirt, and so obviously Damian Priest wasn't able to hit the choke slam. Obviously, Aleister Black was sort of using the ref as a shield. No real cheating, but a little bit of shenanigans. Just let Aleister Black hit Black Mass for the 1-2-3, and that's how that match ended. I'm guessing we're getting another match between these two because it just seems like that's all WWE seems to like nowadays is drawing out feuds to where there's 3 matches each. Where there's at least 3 matches each. If it's not a major feud. If it's not a major feud, just let it go to 2 matches. Like, why does every feud have to go to 3 matches? Because you want to keep somebody's gonna come out of this looking weak, regardless of how you book this feud. Regardless of how many matches someone has against the other. So it is what it is. We got Nia Jax backstage with Jade Cargill. Are they just gonna continue? I mean, they definitely need new talent challenging Tiffany Stratton. I do feel like, no, it wasn't terrible, Mox. It was not terrible, Mox. It wasn't not terrible, so be quiet. Yeah, be quiet, Mox. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we also got Julia versus Michin for the Women's United States Championship. Now, this match obviously was okay for what it was. Julia retained the title, although Kiana James decided to get some much needed payback on Michin for that 5-second loss last week. Like, you're going to have Kiana James return to the ring after being out with an injury, and then you're just going to have her lose in 5 seconds? Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see where that was a good idea. But WWE, obviously, they're going to do what they want to do as well. But it is what it is. Congrats to Julia. She needs to win this. She needed to win this match, and she needs to have a long run as champion. So that's exactly what I think is going to happen. I'm hoping. We also got Nick Aldis backstage with Becky Lynch, who apparently has decided to show up. And as soon as I saw Becky Lynch Knowing full well that CM Punk was scheduled to be there, I thought, oh shit, we're getting it, and I'm hoping that that's what we're getting. I'm hoping it's what if she's here because of what I think she is, I think we're getting what I think we're getting. We got we also got a Randy Orton Drew McIntyre video package. They will go 1-on-1 in a match next week. I know a lot of people will be like, why isn't this on WrestlePalooza? I know a lot of fans will be upset that this isn't on WrestlePalooza, but this match coinciding with what I recently heard about certain talents that have either been written off due to storyline reasons or those certain superstars that have been injured that are scheduled to come back. This obviously, I'm thinking, leads to Cody Rhodes making his return next week, maybe attacking Drew McIntyre post-match to get revenge on what Drew McIntyre did to him no more than a few weeks ago. So that's what I'm thinking. And obviously, it's been heavily rumored that Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre is happening at WrestlePalooza anyways. So if the match has been rumored to take place on WrestlePalooza for some time now, why are fans upset that this match isn't happening at WrestlePalooza when it's been reported that another match involving Drew McIntyre is happening at the show? I'm sorry, you don't have to disagree. Well, you can disagree all you want, but I'm surprised you're coming. I'm surprised you're still here. Like, what's going on here? Great, I got rid of Z's. Great, I got rid of the fake Z account. I got rid of Z's mod, so what the hell is still... I thought I had gotten rid of the problem. But apparently I didn't. So this time I actually might have to just do a hard reset and just take away every mod, not just the mods that I know are the ones screwing me over. We then get the main event. Obviously, Seth Rollins is out there first. He's in the crowd. He's in a skybox. He announced his beautiful wife, Becky Lynch, out there. And then, obviously, after a few minutes of talking, CM Punk decided, you know what, I'm just going to crash proceedings. And, yeah... Becky Lynch then decided to just slap him a few more. Eventually, Becky Lynch then decided to slap him a few more times. This then led to CM Punk going out of the ring with basically saying like goodbye, don't come back, leave SmackDown and never come back to our show. Then CM Punk decided to say that he wished that Becky Lynch hadn't gotten herself involved because it didn't involve her, it involved her husband. And obviously he told her that he would never hit a woman, but that he knows someone who will and who would. And out comes AJ Lee, CM Punk's own wife. And she doesn't look that bad for her age. I think they said she's like 38 years old. I think she's 38 years old. And she looks great. So, obviously, she attacked Becky Lynch. And obviously, the ending of the show, and the show ended with CM Punk and his wife in the ring celebrating with the fans. And hey, SmackDown was great this week. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Wasn't totally perfect, but the AJ Lee return, I guess made up for everything else. And that's how. And yeah, that's what it is. No, it wasn't. It was pointless. I liked it, but it wasn't the best. You can't convince me otherwise. and you will not convince me otherwise. So it is what it is. So that's it for this live stream. I will see you guys next week. Hopefully, I will see you guys next week. And until next time, peace. Bye, guys.